Welcome to the Y'all Need Music podcast. I'm Matt,
I'm Jesse.
and tonight we are joined by special guest Sean Reddick, co-owner from the Venue Event Center in Cadillac, Michigan. How's it going, Sean?
It's going great, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm actually a promotions manager here at the Venue Event Center. One of my best friends, Jeremy Rose, that owns this place, we came together, it's been almost 3 years now, and he brought me on board, and we've been running ever since.
Gotcha.
Nice,
So
nice.
I had bad intel. I thought that I had read that in a news report earlier about the venue, but either way, you're definitely the face of the venue, always doing the lives, telling people who the new artists are going to be and everything else. So we're glad to have you on board.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me.
Excellent. So obviously, our podcast is centered around music, primarily country music, and we love having people from the industry as a whole on, whether it be artists, whether it be DJs, whether it be record label people, or you'll be the first venue person that we've had on board. And we like to share kind of all aspects of the music industry with our listeners, stuff that people maybe wouldn't otherwise know about the industry and how it runs.
Yeah, and I've been in the industry about 25 years now, almost 26 years. Started out doing concert security for large festivals and concerts, and then moved into promotion over the years, and now promoting the music industry. It's one of my favorite things to do.
That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Are you? Was that like Michigan based or?
Yeah, for the majority Michigan-based. I actually made a trip to the Nashville, to the Country Music Awards back in 2017. I've been to Florida a couple times doing it, Chicago, that kind of thing.
Nice.
But for the majority of it, I work with a company now called Crowd Management Solutions that I got involved with back in 1999 and been with them ever since. The owner of that company has passed, and the head of security, who's one of my best friends, he took it over and now is continuing and blowing it up bigger than it ever has been.
I'm pretty sure we've been to events where they've been security and they've probably had run-ins with Jesse and I trying to sneak back.
Yeah, we do a lot of the National Cherry Festival. We have done it for quite a few years. And then Bay City Music Festival we've done. We've traveled all over the place. Right now, the team is actually working at another venue at the casino in Manistee, and then as well as our house security system here at the venue.
Nice. And I think they might
I thought he looked familiar.
Do they do the Venetian Festival in Charlevoix too?
Yep. We've done the Venetian Festival quite a few years now, and they're actually scheduled to be up there again this year.
Nice.
Okay.
So
how did you get into that business?
Well, like I said, one of my best friends, Paul Torrey, asked me if I wanted to work one time, and I worked a celebration in Muskegon called Summer Celebration, where it was 11 straight days of nothing but concerts, and it was one of the most fun things that I've ever done, and literally been doing it ever since.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
And was that like a natural kind of flowing thing from doing security then into kind of the booking side of things and promoting side?
Well, not really. I've been doing the security portion of it for quite some time, but I moved into promotions, did a lot of promotions myself, did MMA promotions, did all the cage fighting in the Cadillac, Michigan area. And It just worked out that promotion continued to happen. I've been a DJ for endless amount of years. I won't even age myself, but literally 36 years I've been in the radio business. And it just, again, kind of fell into place where I was able to promote, a lot of those things. And then, when the venue came about, Jeremy and I also do wedding DJ. So Jeremy asked, hey, I got a building and I would like to set up for weddings. And we were going to use it as a reception hall. Well, he built an addition on that was just a roof with a concrete floor and half walls. And we decided that we were going to try to throw a small show. And we had Darren McCarty from the Detroit Red Wings. He has a comedy tour. And I called Darren and hooked it up. And we set it up for a Saturday show. And literally, at the time, our capacity was only about 110. And we sold it out in about 10 minutes. So I called Darren just minutes after talking to him and told him, I said, we're sold out. You want to add a second show? And he couldn't believe it. So we added a second show and we sold that one out in 20 minutes. So we knew that we had something. And the way that Jeremy Rose, the owner here, is, he's very, very hands-on and gets stuff done when he wants to get stuff done. And he looked at me and he said, "We're going to close that other side and we need to make that a venue." Literally, it was like almost 3.5 weeks later, and we had what was now the venue. So it's
Wow.
Okay.
it's yeah, it's kind of history since then, but worked out well with our ties, with the Cherry Festival, and the booking agent for the Cherry Festival, Janelle with Meridian Entertainment, contacted my buddy Paul and said, "Hey, if they ever need any help down there, I'd love to help them." She's one of the biggest bookers in the state, and actually books all around the country. So it was like a godsend, literally, and we've been going ever since with them. And we've done, we have a show tomorrow night. I think that's our 61st show so far in just over 2.5 years.
That's
nice.
awesome.
And
That's awesome.
and what's the capacity now?
Capacity is 600 roughly. We've modified the place so many different times. We originally started with a smaller stage and had like a backstage area, curtained area off to the left of the stage. And currently that is no longer there. We've actually modified the building, and we now have a 24 by 40 stage with a 4-foot by 30-foot bump out. So, I mean, it's way bigger than it ever has been. Our sound and lights is bigger and better than it ever has been, but that's been modified, a dozen times as well. And our staff is absolutely amazing, man. They get stuff done. Our sound technicians, Silvio Ciccone, as well as Dave Weber, and then our lighting technician, Kevin Nowak, and we now have a second front of house technician, Kyle Dent. And our staff, like I said, is absolutely amazing. The bar staff here, Tara Narovich, is the neck that turns the head around this place and makes things work. And we all work hand in hand, get our job done, and we make it the best concert experience that we can give people.
That's awesome. So do you guys not do weddings anymore? Is it strictly just shows now?
Not necessarily. We do weddings because I still have a wedding business as well. So we do DJing, minister service. Now these guys do the bartending here, but my girlfriend also does a home baking business that we do cakes and cupcakes. So we can do a lot of different things, and people only they write one check, and it makes things much easier for them.
There you go. There you go.
So I gotta say, just based off of you talking about your people and name dropping everybody that works for you tells me what a good place it is, because it's so common for people to like be in the face of things. Like you could just sit here and talk to us and talk about the venue and everything. The fact that you're talking about all your people, you don't even have to tell me that it runs great. I know that because you're talking about your people and mention them by name, and people that are mentioned by name and appreciated in that way always go above and beyond.
Yeah, we're more like a family than we are anything else, man, honestly. And it just works so well because everybody has their own job, and I don't have to delegate and say, "Hey, I got to make sure you're doing your job." They just do the job, and it gets done. I mean, half the time they're on me about, "Hey, what can we do for you?" And they just jump in. They don't. I don't have to ask anything. Getting back to it, you say, I am the face of what we got going on here, but I'm literally, to me, it seems like I'm kind of low on the totem pole compared to all these other guys because they just do such a good job for us.
Right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, like Matt was saying, there's a lot of people that probably in your shoes, with other ones that would kind of take the credit. Like, yep, I'm here, and this place survives because of all the talent that I'm booking and stuff like that. But for you to say that it's the staff and you're the low man on the totem pole just kind of speaks to your who you are as a person and where you give gratitude and credit to. So very cool.
Yeah, literally, I couldn't do any of this without all of these guys. And like I said, our booking agent Janelle, I mean, she keeps me on track. We have our contract guy Dan Longjohn, also with Meridian Entertainment. He's on me consistently too because I'm quite busy, but they keep me, like I said, when this is due, they need it. When contracts are ready, this is done. It's right to my email. They get everything done. When bands are rolling through the state of Michigan, I get an email. Hey, are you guys interested? These guys are, coming to town. And it's literally a yes or a no. And if it's a yes, I have information back within usually minutes back to my email. And and we get things done. And with the venue that we have here too, we've changed things a few different times. We do all genres of music. We've done comedy. We've done. We did a show with a kid named Anthony Grappito, who's been at the Cherry Festival quite a few times. He does a magic show, but also incorporates self-help into the program.
Okay.
And we've had him
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
A lot of the names that we had, I mean, we have, I can kind of turn things around here and just kind of give you an idea, because we do have some stuff on the wall, but just some
Oh,
of
I like
that.
the guitars.
Yeah, and we have so many that we still need to put up, but we're modifying the building so much that we don't really have we don't really have time to get it up because things change. But I mean, we've had acts. One of my favorite bands of all time is Shinedown, and we were gracious enough to have Zach Myers from Shinedown here with his other band, Alan Mac Myers and more. And then he does a comedy show called Campfire Astronauts with a friend of his named Chris Porter, and we had them
Oh, no kidding.
a back-to-back weekend. But I mean, we've had Jackal, we've had Buck Cherry, we've had Saving Abel, Josie Scott, and the guys from Saliva. Have been here numerous times now. Aaron Tippin, Colin Ray, John Langston, Blackhawk. You guys are big country fans, and Blackhawk
Oh, yeah.
was one of the ones that we really wanted to bring in. But I mean, we've brought in Two Live Crew. I mean, it's a wide variety of genres that we're trying to incorporate to bring everything that we can bring to our area, keep it in our area. And I'm not saying that that it's a bad thing to go outside of our area, but why should people from way up here drive 100 miles and spend $500 on a hotel room and tickets and food and everything else when they could spend it right here in our area? And that's why that's the biggest thing. We're huge community supporters. Jeremy Rose donates this building on a regular basis. Just did it today for a family in need. Does it all the time. And between him and his wife Ellen, they they're huge community supporters, and we continue to try to do that to bring our community more and more things and build our community. I mean, we've lived here most of our life, and it just falls hand in hand that we try to give back.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well,
That's awesome.
On that note, I had just posted, I think I might have been a post of your guys' that I shared about local venues on my Facebook, and had mentioned, like, why drive 4 hours to a show, pay for a hotel, everything else, when you can stay local, spend $25 on a ticket to $40 instead of $100 to whoever knows what Ticketmaster is going to jack the price up to,
Yeah.
and have to travel, get a hotel, do dinner, do breakfast, everything else, when you can go somewhere, one, get a better show. We love the smaller, intimate venues, and we're super stoked to come visit you guys this year for the first time. It just hasn't worked with our schedules with past shows that you guys have had, but we've been talking about wanting to come to you guys for about a year and a half now, at least, that it's been on our radar. 2 years maybe, since I think I told you the first thing I had seen was a Jared Neiman show pop up. I think I saw it on Bands in Town.
Yeah, Jared Neiman was actually our first big show with an opener named Kaylin Pace, and she's another phenomenal one. Her and I have become extremely good friends. But Jared was the very first big show that we had in our big room, and I mean, the talent that's come through here is unbelievable for me. I mean, it's been so much different because, like I said, I started in the industry 25 years ago, and when you're doing security, the bands come in and you meet them, you shake their hand, you may get a picture with them, they do the show and they're out. Now I'm hands-on. I'm contracted to be here from the time they get here to the time they leave, and I'm creating personal, relationships with a lot of these acts that I love, man. I never thought I would be in this position, and if it wasn't for the crew and everybody here and Janelle, getting all the booking done, I wouldn't even be in this position. But I'm gracious enough to say that I'm proud to be, a part of this, and we're just going to keep going. We originally started this place. Like I said, with one thing in mind, and it's totally changed ever since then. We've done modifications to the building literally after every show. We've asked the bands, what could we do better? And, what did you see that you would like to see if you come back? And, and most of it is very small criticism, but we've done exactly what they've asked for. We've created something
Nice,
that
nice.
there isn't up here in northern Michigan. The fact that the capacity is quite small, but there's other venues in the state that are as small as us that started from where we did, and we're going leaps and bounds above where we thought we would be at this point, and we're just going to keep on pushing. We literally just built that stage. Like I said, it's now the entire width of the room, but we added load-in area and dressing rooms now in that back, which all these bands
Nice.
need that kind of thing, and we couldn't accommodate.
Right.
And again, there are other venues out there that that can't accommodate some of the things either. But we as business members, or the heads of business, we just try to continue to make it better and better for all these bands. And like our catering and stuff like that. We don't do meat trays and things like that. We have a on-site restaurant called the Truck Stop that we bring, we give food meal vouchers for for the guys. We get an appetizer and a main course per person. They get 2 of those tickets for being here, and it's anything from a gourmet salad to a ribeye steak. They can have any of that kind of stuff. So
Nice.
It's been really good. The other thing that we're really proud of too, because people ask all the time, what are your what is the age limit? We actually accommodate to all ages here, so that the younger folks can learn about music and see the people that they see on TV, but in more of an intimate setting. So we do in all ages, but we always recommend that it's parental guidance, because A, there's alcohol sold here just like any other concert venue.
Yeah.
But
Right.
but B, they're going to hear a couple swear words most likely.
Right.
But we tell people that in advance all the time. All ages are welcome with parental guidance, hoping that obviously the parents know their children, and if they're into that kind of music. We had people that brought their kids to the 2 Live Crew show, and I mean 16-year-old kid, but the parents said that they've been listening to 2 Live Crew for 3 or 4 years at that point. So
Right,
who
right.
are we to judge? But we just want to give a good experience to all the people that want to come. So that's why we've done what we've done.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, Sean, and I don't, like I said, Matt, we haven't been there yet. The lineup that you guys pulled in last year was absolutely phenomenal, to where we were literally pulling strings trying to figure out when we could get there to see it, and it just didn't line up for us.
Yeah.
So stoked to come this year. The one question I did have, I'm a Traverse City native myself. I've spent tons of time down in Cadillac, lots of friends, college buddies that live in Cadillac. I know exactly where you guys are at and everything like that. Do you guys plan on doing any like outdoor type of shows in the future?
Well, we don't, because we're the zoning here. There's residential zoning behind us, so right now
That's what
it's
I
already,
thought.
it's already loud enough. And we have tried to create sound suppression here to avoid those things. And it is, let's say, 2 blocks away, but at the same time, music travels, and we all know that. But
Oh, yeah.
we've done some sound suppression. Jeremy just got a piece of property behind us that we're creating a berm back there with another sound absorption. He has storage units here to the would be the east side of the building, and is now he put 2 more buildings up to eliminate that sound. We have a church right next door. We have a church next door.
Yeah.
But we try to be as good of neighbors as we can. They have a church service on Saturdays between 4 and 5, and we have music off between 4 and 5 every Saturday, even though we have Saturday shows that need sound checks. We try to be as good neighbors as we can, because they don't complain if we have people that overflow parking over there. They never complain. We always make sure that things are cleaned up. But we try to, like I said, be a good neighbor. They have a church service over there. We have sound off completely, and that's
nice.
we take pride in that too. To try to, again, we're trying to help the community. Why would we try? Why would we do something that's going to jeopardize what they got going on? So
right. Don't piss off the neighbors.
Inside's where the fun is, and
okay.
Can't wait to have you guys. In talking about the shows that we had last year, we have a lot of those that are returning. One of the biggest actually the biggest show that we ever had, was a band that honestly I'd never heard of before, but Jeremy here at the venue said, I don't care if nobody shows up, I want to party with those guys in my building. And we had so many people here. There was no room. I was terrified at the time, because we were still really fresh. And I thought, I don't know how we're going to get all these people in here, but it didn't even matter. People just kept coming and coming and coming. We've already brought them back. We're about 3/4 sold out of that show. A band called Texas Hippie Coalition, and they have a
Hippie Coalition. Yep.
Oh man,
That
they
was the
have
one
such a
that
huge following.
we were so mad that we missed it. Our buddy Dan that we go to a lot of concerts with, he was, on board with it, and I was like, let's just do it. I think Matt couldn't do it that weekend or something, and then Dan, he bails on everything, but I
Yeah,
was like, man, I want to go see them guys. Like,
yeah,
I've never
yeah.
seen them before, followed them forever,
I'm
but
telling you
yeah, we
guys,
definitely want to.
you have to clear your schedules for that. I believe it's March
Yeah.
28th here at the venue. Like I said, the tickets are about 3/4 sold out already, and it's
Yep.
guaranteed. It's guaranteed to sell out within the next couple weeks because people are just continuing to buy those tickets. We have some big names coming up too that I never thought that we would have in the building. Brian Martin, his number one country song "We Ride" is going to be in this building. Tyler
Yeah.
Farr, we're all going to go redneck crazy with Tyler Farr, here at our venue.
Yep.
And he's one of the ones that we've been really working to get for the last year and a half. And schedules didn't work out, and things didn't work, but we were able to lock him down. And man, we are so excited to have him too. From a country aspect, I'm a huge country fan, but we have a lot of really good rock and roll acts. Even our tribute acts, we have tribute acts periodically too that are some of the best in the country. I mean, some of these bands, if you turned your back, you would swear that the actual band was on stage, and these guys are blowing these places away and filling the building. I mean, there's a Metallica one called the Four Horsemen that was probably one of the best bands that we've ever had, the tribute bands that we've ever had in this building, and they now manage another band called Lateralis that's a Tool tribute that we just had here, and wow. Like I said, if you turn your back, man, and you
Nice.
have no idea who's on stage because it sounds exactly like the real deal.
That's very cool.
I was just
back when you were talking
showing,
about the booking process. Oh, Jesse. Any rate, when you were talking about
Matt's
the booking
getting on track.
process, I did have a question.
Am I on delay or
you
something?
had mentioned having, yeah. So I was curious if you work with other venues, because I did see, some of the artists that you guys have had in the past, they may be at like the Machine Shop or somewhere in Michigan. Do you work with other venues to bring talent to Michigan, or is that booking agency, are they kind of the force behind that's like reaching out to all the venues?
Well, we're not so much working with other venues, but routing is a huge thing. So let's say one of those downstate venues, they're able to bring somebody in. We may be able to get a weekday show, or they may be able to get a weekday show for, maybe a little lesser cost, or it just gives the band more opportunity to do shows back to back to back when they're venues that are interested, that we can technically work together with bringing these bands to our areas. But like you said, like the Machine Shop downstate, I mean, they're 2.5 hours away from us, so they're by far outside of our radius area. But with most contracts, there's a radius clause that you can't be within 100 miles of another show within 100 miles within, I think it's 30 days before or after show, because we don't want to interrupt what they have going on. But routing is a huge thing when these other venues are getting bands. A lot of times it's easier to get those bands because they're already in our area and they may have a free date that they can utilize. So it works really good, and that's why you see a lot of the bands at the same venues day in and day out, or some in the same week, but it just works out great for all of us. And we do support all of the other venues in the area. If there's things that we can do to encourage and help, we've gone to a lot of the other venues to see shows. Bands that wouldn't play a 500 or 600 seat venue, but they'll play 1,000 seat venue. We'll support those venues for sure. That's what we're all about. So
I was just curious how that process worked, and didn't know. Obviously it's way better, especially if you're coming from Nashville to Michigan. If you can do 2 or 3, that's got to be way better than driving all the way up here doing 1 and then going back. I just didn't know how that whole piece of the puzzle worked. I knew that there had to be something there, but just didn't know the kind of the background behind it.
Yeah, that's how. Like I said, that's how it works when bands are in the area or within, let's say, a 200-mile radius. If they can book more shows at different venues, that's what they're all about, and that routing works out really well. But
nice.
I mean, we haven't worked hand in hand with any other venues as far as, hey, we're bringing this person in. You might want to look into it. We haven't done that. We really haven't had time to do that. With as many shows as we do, like the month of March, I think we have 7 shows in the month of March, and I think we have 8 in the month of May.
Nice.
A lot of them are back-to-back shows. A lot of them are Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows. Some are Friday, Saturday, and we have a Sunday show coming up. It's we lost him.
Hey, he's back.
But like I said, we haven't had that opportunity. But we're willing to do that type of thing.
Yeah, cool. Well, I just wasn't sure. Like I said, I think it's great either way. I mean, obviously, we've been to venues downstate, but having the opportunity, Brian Martin's been a big one for me that I've wanted to see. And literally, I don't even know how I got away with it, but I was able to buy them on your guys' site like an hour before they were supposed to go on sale. It worked. I was like, I'm going to just try it, and got our tickets and was like, sweet, got them. We're good.
yeah, and we try to do more and more of that type of thing too. We have a new algorithm that we use that you can get signed up to win free tickets, and then by doing that, we utilize that information. And like if they're now considered VIPs on our site, we will send a bulk text out to all of those people to say, hey, you guys have an opportunity an hour early to get that because you are that VIP member, and it's free to sign up. So it makes no sense
you got
not
VIP,
to do it.
Matt.
But, we have a lot of, a lot of times the bands allow us to do a venue pre-sale, venue only pre-sale. Well, those VIPs get that venue pre-sale code, and they can buy those tickets the day before they go on sale to the public, which then in turn, they're guaranteed their tickets. We're changing things up too in the future. We just we're adding a pit area up front. So there'll be pit tickets in a barricaded area, just like you see it at the bigger venues. We have another VIP table area that we're getting ready to set up. That'll be a raised area off the floor to see above the crowd for people that do want to sit. You guys know that you've been to venues and things like that. Majority of them are standing room only. You don't get seats at a lot of the venues. So we're trying to accommodate for some of the people that may not be able to stand for 3 hours, or they just want to be comfortable, or they want waitress service, or things like that. We're trying to accommodate for all of that stuff little by little, and it's taking time, but it's getting done.
Yeah, no, and I think it's great. Something else that I've seen that you guys do that I don't think I've ever seen at another venue before is your guys' golden ticket.
Yeah. The golden ticket was a great idea. We started out with 50 of them, and I literally think we have about 20 left. But the golden ticket gets you general admission to every single show for the entire year for one price. We actually started it out back in October of last year, and it was $500. But what we did was you get the entire year of 2025. But if you bought them then, you get the entire rest of 2024 as well. And we'll continue that going because it has been a pretty cool deal. And now with all the shows, I mean, when you're doing 7 or 8 shows a month, and you can go to every single show, or you can pass that on to somebody else. It gives you one.
Oh,
admission.
Nice.
So let's say you can't make a show, but Matt, you can't make the show, but Jesse wants to go. You can give him your pass to go. But when he comes in, that name will be checked off. So it can't be used twice. It can't be modified.
That's awesome.
If you can't make the show, you're welcome to do that.
Yeah.
Or to give it to a friend so they can still come and enjoy the show too. You paid the price. Why not be able to utilize it?
Yeah, I'm not giving tickets to a friend to go if I'm not going. If I'm going to a concert, I'm going to a concert.
Right. Yeah. Talking about this kind of stuff too, either the Brian Martin show or the Texas Hippie show, you guys got to make it, man. You guys got to come down here and at least check out what we got going on, because you can't really explain everything that we have here without experiencing it. And we have people from downstate. We have people from out of state. I mean, when we had the Zach Meyer show here, we had people from Oklahoma fly all the way here, stayed the weekend because they wanted to see both shows. And I mean, it wasn't just one person. There was groups of people that were doing that. And again, we're trying to bring those things that you might not ever get a chance to see. When I used to do MMA promotion, I would bring in UFC fighters to be special guests. And my whole goal for that was to bring things that people ordinarily see on TV that they wouldn't ordinarily have a chance to see, and bring that to our area. So that's what we're doing with the venue now too. We're trying to give that opportunity for people to see things that they may not be able to see, or see it in a different light. Like, I mean, I can go to a big venue that has 15,000 people and sit in the nosebleeds and see a concert. But when you're in a venue like ours, where there's only space for 500 or 600 people, it's an intimate setting. It's a totally different experience
Right.
than a lot of people are used to seeing. And the fact that we're all ages, those people can come and see it now too. That they don't have to go to a place that's 18 and up or 21 and up. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anything bad about those places. I'm just saying we try to, I guess, go above and beyond.
Yeah.
as best we can to give
Right,
everybody
right.
the opportunity to come and see the shows that we're bringing.
Well, I'm not telling my daughter you guys are all ages because she hounds me to go to every concert I go to as it is. And
Well,
so
I tell you what, we have a show coming up called "Are You Ready?" That's a Taylor Swift tribute, and that thing is selling massive too. But we have girl groups of 10 or 12 that are buying tickets that are coming, nieces and moms and grandmas, and and it's
yeah.
it's crazy to even think that it's that popular, but it is. I mean, and again, if we didn't search out all the different genres, we would have
Yeah,
never known.
that's
So we were surprised
I
when that thing
was
sold as
when you
fast
were
as it did.
talking
And
before
this
about your
girl
cover
looks
bands
and
and stuff
sounds
like that. I saw your
exactly like Taylor
post
Swift,
on
and you're only paying
Facebook.
$25 to see
I think it
her.
was either earlier today or
Nice.
yesterday, and I was showing my wife and then another one of our friends. I was like, I couldn't tell if this was Taylor Swift or not. I was like, look, they're doing a Taylor Swift experience. She was wearing like the same outfits, like it looked just like her, and I was like, yeah, costume changes just like the whole experience that Taylor would
Yep,
do.
costume changes. Yeah, we just.
Right, right.
Oh yeah, yeah. And like I said, you can do it for a price like that and be home by let's say 10:30.
Right.
You don't have so far to drive. And and that's another thing that we do here too. If we have a Friday or a Saturday show, doors open at 7, show starts at 8. If it's any other day during the week, the doors open at 6 and the show starts at 7. So we try to get you home by 10 o'clock. So for the people that say, "Oh, I got to work tomorrow," well, now you don't have an excuse. You can still make the show and
Thank
get home at a
you.
reasonable time. You know what I
Right.
mean? So again, we just try to we try to accommodate those things to give more people the opportunity to come and check out what we got going on.
Yeah, well, I've got our group of friends. We do a ton of shows. I think 2023 we saw 70 some different. But I wanted to do that again in 2024, but all my friends that call me old couldn't keep up, so we only did like 45, and I'm pushing to break the 70 this year.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine texted me the other night, sent me the image for the Creed Fisher show, and he's like, "Do you know about this?" And I was like, "Yeah, but nobody else in the group will commit to going because it's a weeknight." And I'm like, "So what? Let's do it anyway." It looks
Yeah.
like it'll get done fairly early. And next thing you know, he calls me and he just starts rambling on, and then he stops and he's like, hang on just a second. I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "I got to tell you this before we go any farther." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "I'm freaking hammered right now." And I'm like, "Yeah, I could tell." And he's like, "We should go." And I'm like, "Hey, if you want to go, we'll do it. Me and you will go. I don't care if anyone else does." And he says, "Well, I'm supposed to work." And I'm like, "Well, then how are you going to go?" And he says, "Well, I'm trying to get my shift covered." So I might be able to drag someone out with me to come down and see Creed Fisher for that show. But we definitely got a group coming for sure for Brian Martin. Super looking forward to checking you guys out and being able to tell everyone about it firsthand. I've shared you guys' stuff on Facebook a ton. I know you guys were looking for more followers, shared that. I started having friends, DMing me saying, "Tell me about this place." I'm like, "I'd love to tell you more about it. I haven't been there yet because it hasn't worked with our schedule, but
Yep.
we're going." I said, and we're gonna have them on the podcast and talk about it and find out more about the venue to really kind of get the promotions out there, because I'd love to see you guys be hugely successful and keep bringing shows to the area, because that benefits concert junkies like me.
Yep. Yeah, and like you said too, like it's funny too because I keep getting notifications while I'm here, with you guys. Tickets are selling like crazy, but Texas Hippie Coalition tickets are selling pretty heavy just since we've been here. And like I said, that show is going to be nuts. But they have so many followers that, you know, they'll come here, and if they're, let's say they are at the machine shop the next night, they'll go down there and stay in Flint and see them again tomorrow night. And if they're, let's say they're in Illinois or they're in Ohio or, you know, something like that, they follow them. They follow those bands around. So it's super fun for, like you said, concert junkies to get that type of experience where you can see the bands that you like 2-3 days in a row. It's just and affordable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, usually if we're seeing multiple shows back to back to back, it is not affordable. We're usually at a festival or, you know, in Nashville or something like that. So to have, you know, the opportunity to do that up here is incredible. And realistically, you know, the smaller venues where they are more intimate, you know, like that, I tend to think you get a better show anyway than a big like stadium show or something like that. And, you know, you just get that better feel from the band. It's almost like they're singing to you instead of like you're just a blip on the radar.
Yeah, but they, you know, for in a venue our size too, you know, the bands come out after the show. No. I would say 9 times out of 10, they come out afterwards to meet the fans, take pictures, autographs. You wouldn't get that in a huge venue. You know, a 15,000 seat capacity venue, you're not going to get that unless you're paying $150 for a special VIP. And again, don't get me wrong, I've done it. I've spent $200 and $300 on a VIP meet and greet on a band that I wanted to see. But if you don't have to, you know what I mean? Yeah. It gives that opportunity that you can meet those type of people that you would never get a chance to meet. Yeah,
I think that's absolutely incredible.
We just had another show too. We were just talking about the Taylor Swift thing and her costume changes. But there's a band out there called That Arena Rock Show. We've had them here twice now. They're a 70s and 80s tribute acts, but they're full costume. They have full stage presence. I mean, if they sing a Guns N' Roses song, he looks like Axl Rose on stage. If they do an Alice Cooper song, he looks like Alice Cooper on stage.
Wow.
You know, they do Poison, Bon Jovi, you know, Aerosmith. It's an absolutely amazing show. And you could go back, and our videographer, Jason Williams, he does a phenomenal job of keeping our TikTok up. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, and he does an amazing job of all the videos. We just got a new program that I'm now making live video posters instead of regular posters, where you can actually click on it. Music's in the background. Because, for instance, Brian Martin, somebody said, well, who's Brian Martin? But they hear the song and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. So, you know, now we add those songs to it and then show, you know, we play videos on our Facebook page and stuff like that to try to make it so that people realize who these people are. We're working on something right now that's massive, and you guys are huge country fans. I'll let you guys know as soon as I find out if we can get this thing booked, but you're not going to believe if we can get this thing done who it's going to be.
Take my wallet. Just take my wallet. Just take my wallet.
You know, but I mean, this thing kind of fell into our lap, and if it pans out, it's going to be massive. It'll probably be one of the biggest acts that we've had here in this building. And again, I mean, we've had some big acts, you know. Even a lot of the old schoolers, you know, you say you guys are country fans. You know, we had Chris Cagle in the building, and you know that dude still rocks it. We had Keith Anderson in here, you know, who hasn't been up here in years. He was at the National Cherry Festival, I want to say like 17 years ago, and blew the house away. I mean, you know,
yeah, Matt, you better be on the Matt. You better be on the VIP group
if we bring them back,
text message whenever he releases whatever's coming out.
Can I put you on the spot real quick?
Just real quick, what I want to.
I already signed up for that.
Yep.
So I got to put you on the spot. I got to put him on the spot real quick before I forget, though.
Yeah.
And then you go, Jesse. So when we come either to Creed or Brian Martin, is there any chance that we could get in to snap some pictures and stuff for social media to be able to put on our content before the show or something if we come early?
Oh yeah. We'll do that.
Nice.
You know, and I can't say yes, but I can verify. You know, if the band's okay with it. You know, if you guys want to come for sound check or you know something like that. A lot of times they don't like to have video on sound check, but you know, still pictures are fine and stuff like that. But all I have to do is ask, and if they're down with it, we're down with it, man. We love your podcast. We appreciate the support.
Nice. Yeah.
You guys keep doing what you're doing, and you know if we can.
No, that's okay. Obviously, I
make
have a
it
little bit
a
of
better
delay
experience for you
going
guys
on
too.
my
We'd love to.
internet or something like that down here in
Awesome.
mid-Michigan.
So
but
go ahead, Jesse. Sorry
just
I
to
cut you off. I just
anybody
wanted to
that
ask about that because it was
is
in my
looking
head.
to go to a concert or check out one of these awesome things, I just clicked onto the website really quick for the Texas Hippie Coalition. But this is for pretty much any of your concerts. I just threw 4 tickets into my cart with all your fees and everything like that. $128.12 for 4 tickets to a local. Yeah, how many concerts have we been to where we bought 1 ticket for $128, and had to drive to
4.
drive to Grand Rapids or drive to Detroit or something like that. So unreal.
Yeah.
And then paid another 80 in fees.
Yeah, we
Right.
yeah, obviously.
Oh no,
Obviously,
it's
with everybody now with credit cards, there's credit card fees and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We have a website fee and stuff, but we don't. It's
yeah.
not massive, man.
It's
I mean,
minimal.
it's very minimal. You might pay $5 in fees, to be able to use your credit card, for the tickets. But we're not all about that. We're not all about making a ton of money off of one person. My philosophy has always been I don't want to make $1 million off of one person. I'd rather make $1 off $1 million. And if we can touch
That's
that
awesome.
many people in a positive way and bring new things to the Cadillac and surrounding areas, fill our hotels, fill our restaurants, fill our gas stations, I'm all about it, man. So we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. And like I said, with the support of our staff, the ownership is I mean, Jeremy Rose is more hands-on than any 10 people that I've ever seen. When we do upgrades to this building, he is the one that's in the entire mix, and he's here from wee hours of the morning to the wee hours at night, and completely hands-on. I mean, he's doing a lot of the construction work and stuff like that. And like I said, if it wasn't for him, this whole place would not have ever come to fruition. But he's the one that continues to build it as fast and as hard as he is. And he's doing it because he loves this community. He loves everything about this community. And so he wants to make sure that things are getting done. I mean, that last project was 8 days. We had we went from having a 16 by 24 stage to a 24 by 40 stage with a dressing room and a loading area in 8 days. And it's all because of that hard work between him and his wife Ellen. They own another restaurant in Manton that's one of our ticket outlets, called the 308, and another great place if you guys get a chance to eat up there. They got steak night on Friday nights and stuff like that. But between the two of them, I don't know harder workers. I physically and I do a lot, man. I usually work 4 to 5 jobs all at a time, and these guys run circles around me without even hesitation. So like I said, if it wasn't for what they have and the want and the need to succeed and push as hard as they possibly can, there is no better. And you guys will see that too. You'll get a chance to meet them both. They're always here at every single show. So they mingle and interact and thank everybody for being here. I try to get around as much as I possibly can to mingle with people. We always want to say thank you. Like I said, we have other podcasters too that are coming here. Nice. They're doing live videos right from this location.
Yeah, we got to step it up.
They've been here 4 or 5 times now, and they're driving all the way from the Detroit area. So again,
we got to step it up.
Yeah, that's right. You guys aren't not that far away from me, and you need to get down.
So I'll tell you what I'm going to do then. Just because of that, I'm going to this will air next week, and so I'm going to buy 2 more tickets to the Brian Martin show. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to give those away on our social media for a couple of people to come join Y'all Need Music at the Venue Event Center for Brian Martin on April 4th.
Heck yeah, man. We would appreciate that so much. I just want to let everybody know what our socials are, because we built our Facebook page quite substantially. Even over the last couple of weeks, we've gained 1,000 to 2,000 followers. And when we're here, I always tell people, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to like the Facebook page, because that's the only way to stay up to date for sure on a live basis, unless you go to the website. But people are scrolling on Facebook every single day. We do live video announcements all the time. We let everybody know when we're going to do the announcements. Most times we might have a ticket link for the first 3 hours that the people on our social media can use early and get those tickets early, or $5 off. We've done that quite a few times too. For the first 3 hours that the tickets are on sale, we waive the fees, so you save $5 by doing it within that first 3 hours. But we're always trying to give back. A a lot of our sponsors. Even we have quite a few of our sponsors that are with us all the time, but. Our number one sponsor that has been with us absolutely since day one is Don's Midtown Food and Beverage, and they're one of our ticket outlets here in town too. But they are here at every single show. They volunteer their time to help us. They sell tickets over there. They put flyers on their pizza boxes. It's crazy the support when you have such good close friends. Don and Tim Clark down there they're some of my longest running friends. I actually performed their ceremony for their wedding, DJ'd their wedding. I mean, it's the familyness that we have down here is you guys will feel it. I guarantee it. You guys are going to feel every bit of it when you're here. I don't care if you've driven and we've only met you the first time or you've been here 50 times. You're going to feel the same way that everybody else does here, and we're going to treat you like family when you come.
Yeah, so anybody that's going to their socials, check them out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If you go to their Facebook and follow them, after you follow them, make sure you click on the three little dots, go to invite all, and invite all your friends to follow them as well. Make sure that everyone you know, whether they're in the area or not, I support venues in Libby, Montana, because I got friends that live there and they bring in artists, and so I support those venues on social media. And so it doesn't matter if your friends live in Michigan or not. Follow their page, support them. You know, maybe your friends are coming to the area, might want to check out a show. So make sure that everyone on your friends list is following them as well, and promote them and get to as many shows as you can, because anytime you go to a show, that's going to up the chances of them having even more shows in the future that we all get to benefit from.
That's right. And don't forget, guys, to support local. That's the biggest thing. When you have support acts and opening acts that literally are coming, you know, just to support the venue itself, a lot of these bands offer to come and play for free just because they want to open for a national act. But a lot of these bands you may not have never heard of before, but now you heard them and you're like, oh my gosh, these guys are super good. Then go and support them, buy their merch, buy their music. You know, you stream it. There's streaming platforms on every single, there's tons of them out there. But make sure to support those guys. If they got CDs in the house, pay $5 or $10, buy those CDs, support those local bands, because you're never going to know when those smaller bands create and make themselves bigger bands, and then down the road oh my gosh, I had the opportunity to see those guys and I bought their CD.
Yeah, we were just we did a TikTok live this past weekend, Sean, and talking about how Matt and I love going to these intimate venues with people that might be, like Brian Martin. I wouldn't consider him like an up and comer. I consider him like a superstar in my book, but a lot of times you can see some of these artists, like you said, that don't want to play they're not to the level to play the super huge. But if you can get to see them at, a discounted rate, we've talked about it before. About 2.5 years ago, we saw Ella Langley down in Nashville play at an event down there, and we knew right then that she was going to blow up to be big. And now, boom, what does she have? Number one song in the country. And she's everywhere. And it was like, we got to see her at 100-person venue live, raw. And it was like, we've been talking about it for years about how great she was going to be. And so if you can see some of these artists, like you were saying, some of these people that are opening for the bands, Michigan artists that we seen up at Petoskey State Fair, not State Fair, but Petoskey Fair last year, Waylon Hannell, it's someone like that where you get to see he was opening for a bigger act, and now he's starting to gain traction and everything like that. So when you get to see these artists at a smaller venue like that and get that raw, intimate, emotion, to where you draw a connection to them, and then now you get to see them at a bigger, like you were saying, like a Van Andel or something like that. It's super crazy, super cool to be able to do that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And to treat these local bands like they are big bands. I mean, we have a couple of them. We have a local band here just in Cadillac called Live for Tomorrow, and these kids are amazing. They're nuts. Right. And now they're playing bigger venues. But when they were here, we had them sign a guitar, because you never know when those type of bands are going to blow up. But at the same time, it's like we're giving them.
Remember, Sean, I'm coming back.
They're going to be more apt that when they are huge, that they say, man, hey, we played that little venue in Cadillac, Michigan. We should try to go back there. I would love to see that. I would love to see these bands blow up. That's right. I would love to see these local
Right.
bands blow up
Yeah.
massive and then call and say, "Hey, we're getting ready to go on tour, but we just wanted to stop by your place and play a show." Why can that not
Yeah.
happen? You know what I mean? There's, I, there's other venues in the state that started out like
Yeah.
that, and there's some those venues are bringing in acts only because they've given opportunities to up and coming bands when they first started. That's the only
Yeah.
reason, because there's been some bands that we try to get, we just cannot get. They will not play a venue our size.
Yeah.
But there are other venues the same size in the state that they do play, but it's only because those people gave them those opportunities. And again, we want to try to do that same thing. We've only been around. I actually think August of 23.
Okay.
August of 23
Right.
is when
Awesome.
we
Awesome.
actually first started. Was our first big show, August of 23. So we're not even 2 full years into this yet.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and we're definitely going to keep promoting you guys. Obviously, anybody that watches us knows we always do follow-ups when we go to shows and tell people about the artist, tell people about the venue that we were at. We think that's important to share with people that haven't been maybe or looking to go. So we're looking forward to coming to see you guys and promote the hell out of you guys because, obviously you're not in the town I live in, but you're right in my backyard. So, for me, it's probably about an hour and 40-minute drive. I'd much rather do that than 4 hours any day of the week.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Getting back to it, guys, too, the social medias, you can follow us on Facebook at The Venue Event Center on Facebook. Our website is www.thevenueccadillac.com. The EC is for Event Center, but I didn't want the website to be a mile long. So thevenueccadillac.com. You can stay up to date on all the tickets. All of our ticket links are on our website. I'm actually in charge of the page. Jeremy and I run the page together, and we change it on a daily basis. So when a show's done, we change that. We put videos of the new acts coming on. So you can always go to the website, too, and find that type of thing out. We do have a VIP on there that's free to sign up. You earn points for every ticket that you buy, and when you get 100 points, you get a chance to get free tickets. So, again, that giving back type thing, too, that, if you're going to come and support us, we're going to try to give back to you. And
and when we
do those things. The venue,
a little delayed still. I was gonna say when we air this next week on the YouTube,
right, well,
we'll post all your links and everything like that on there, so people can click right on the YouTube and go to your links and everything like that to check all them out and follow them. Make sure you guys are following them, and like Matt said, 3 little buttons. Invite your friends, support local, and obviously they're bringing in, I think, some pretty big name acts for the Michigan area and some pretty badass acts. So, and I'm stoked that we're getting to come up there for the first time. Yeah. Hopefully we can get up there before the Brian Martin show, because the Creed Fisher and the Texas Coalition, I want to go to those. I'm just waiting for the big guy to give the okay on them. So, but yeah, we definitely are looking forward to it.
Yeah, you ain't never waiting on me for a concert. All right, hey Sean, do me a favor. When we end this in a minute, stay on board for a minute. And we'll just end the recording and catch everybody again the next time on the Y'all Need Music podcast. All the clips that we post, we'll tag them on their socials.